All right, guys, welcome back to Should Have Turned Left. I'm Ben, Canadianized on the forums, at The Canadianized on Twitter.
And I'm Frank, also known as Nasser.
And we're back a week late with another battle report, Circle versus Retribution. My contribution to the internet last week was a Google Hangout with Miranda, Wargamer Girl, so go check that out. Let's see, what'd you bring today, Frank?
I brought a Vyros list. Vyros 2. So there's Imperatus, 4 Griffins, and Aspis. Invictors with UA, Anna and Holt, 2 Arcanus. I think that's it. Yeah, I think
that
that's
sounds
the
right.
list.
And fuel cache objective.
Standard fuel cache objective.
Yeah. Synergy while you can. I brought Morvahna 2, Gorax Stalker, 2 Bloodweaver Night Witches, 2 Gallows Groves, 2 sets of stones, 1 with UA, Druids with UA, Blood Trackers full with UA, and Skinwalkers full with UA, and Effigy of Valor, because thank God Psychology is going away in a month.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a few factions that will really enjoy that.
Yeah.
It's not even a month now, really.
No, it's not.
If you count the lock and load date as the
true.
Go Mark III date.
True, today's the 21st, so yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so fast. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's less than 2 weeks now. So I won the die roll. I was lazy, so I chose this side.
Yep, allowing me to go first. Right off the bat, I was going, oh, yay, lots of armor against Morvahna. This could be problematic.
Luckily, this scenario, I think, is winnable, but it's definitely harder to... It can be more difficult to 3-point in one turn in this one.
Yeah.
Because they're turned long ways, it ends up often being a lot harder to actually clear the zone and be able to reach the objective, right?
Exactly.
So without exposing yourself to just giving up the other zone. So I think it's a winnable scenario, but it's not as live as, say, Destruction or...
No.
And nothing is as live as Destruction, really.
Exactly. Destruction or Incursion, those are the 2 super live ones.
The other one that is this, but, you turn the rectangles the other way. And
the objectives are in the zone.
Yeah, the objectives are in the middle.
That one's pretty...
That one's incredibly live. That one's one of the easiest ones to win, I find. Because you're only 8 inches apart between the 2 zones. Fantastic. You only have to... So that means you're spreading out 8, 6, and 6, right? So you're spreading out a whopping 20 inches across the table.
Yeah.
So simple.
And the zones are right on the edge of kill box.
Yep.
So that doesn't hurt either. Let's see. I slapped prey on Imperatus. I was debating between Imp and Vyros. Went with Imp. Blood Trackers don't have a great prey target in this match anyways.
No, I think Imp is a fine one.
Yeah.
If you're ever going for him, then you'll need the extra damage versus him.
Exactly. That's what I thought. Like I said, it was between Imp or Vyros, and it's a gamble on which one's going to be further up more often, which usually ends up being the Jack. If I put it on a Griffin, then that's the Griffin you commit last.
Yeah, definitely.
The Aspis is a shield guard, so that's kind of worthless.
Yeah, so not really worth putting on him.
No. Have we seen any instance of prey in the new edition yet?
Nothing that I can remember. Yeah, we have. And the big change to prey is Praedar is gone. You no longer get the speed bonus if you're within 10 of the model. We saw it on Nightmare.
On Nightmare?
Yeah, some people have seen it on Nightmare.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, leaks are a thing.
So, Mark III leaks, they're a thing. Every faction has a PDF floating around out there. Some people have access to it, some people don't, and there are the truthers, the faction truthers out there. So if you guys have access to the Trollblood, Circle, Signar, or what other faction are you interested in looking at?
technically I am obligated to say none, and that I will not
None.
spread any of this.
Yeah, none. Yeah, so
Because I'm a press ganger, I can't do that.
so send me
You're not.
send me Signar, Troll Bloods, and Circle, because I'd be really interested in looking at those. You know,
Retribution, you're looking into that faction too. I mean, you're playing
Yeah.
them right now.
yeah, Retribution would. There we go. Retribution would be the fourth one. So
No, I think the only ones I've actually seen leaks out of are Legion, Mercs, and Kriegs.
every faction has a
But,
document.
Yeah,
out there.
every faction.
I'm
has a
just-
document.
I'm
It's
just
how
letting
much
ya-
of an asshole are the French.
I'm letting you know that there are documents out there. And yeah, I mean, people are sharing them with certain people in the community. Mainly, if they have a reputation in the community, then hey, they get to see the stuff, and other people don't. So think about that, what you will.
Yeah.
And as far as PP,
I don't blame them for being pissed.
yeah,
But
the way that those were leaked out. So there used to be a lot of leaks, and I guess we'll say here in Albuquerque we were privy to a lot of leaks. Mainly because we would I would get information through different playtest groups and whatnot, and then they shut down the external playtests to try and eliminate the leaks. I think if you've been playing War Machine Hordes for a while, you'll remember that there were a lot of leaks out there.
Oh yeah.
And then they clamped down on the external playtests, and then
And then ended up abolishing it, I think.
yeah, yep, it got limited, and then it was now gone, and that's kind of sad because after that we saw some really busted things come out.
Bradigus.
May or may not be related. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Not. when your playtest group is 7 dedicated people and then some other people that maybe work there, you're not gonna have a very good balance.
No. When you don't have one devoted person per faction.
Yeah.
To sit there and break one. And
Though I will say overall they did do a fairly good job. Obviously toward the end of Mark II. Now that we know it was the end of Mark II, it makes more sense as to why maybe things were a little bit more busted.
yeah,
But
like
they did an alright job with balance for a little while in that window without the large playtest group.
true. I mean, Hill Hydra, now that we know that Mark III is coming and how that ability works, makes total sense.
Yeah, it makes
It's
more
like,
sense.
oh yeah, that's how Gain got through everybody in editing and all that, is because they were already playing that as Gain, and it meant something different in Mark III versus Mark II.
And I think overall, since they are attempting to just debuff everything, like they just want to nerf things, overall, I think the balance will be a bit more safe going into Mark III.
Yeah,
But
except
obviously-
what faction that can take Eris 1 isn't going to take Eris 1.
I don't know.
She strips Fury and Focus on
Oh.
her gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, I remember
now she
seeing
strips
that.
Fury as well. It's like,
Yep, that's going to be a very nice thing to have in a War Machine army.
yeah.
And obviously there's the Void Soul that needed to be nerfed. Like that was, let's make something better for Scorn. Sorry, Scorn.
Yeah.
You can't have nice things. So that's
and
a problem.
within 3 hours, there was an errata.
I think we saw something in Convergence that may need an errata. I can't remember exactly what our conversation was.
I don't remember what in Convergence needs an errata, because the corollary doesn't spend, so
Yeah.
that's actually fine still. I
Oh,
don't know.
Tep.
Oh.
It's an infinite loop of
infinite
shots.
loop. Yep.
Granted, you could say you're being an asshat and just trying to abuse and break the rules, but
But when
have you
War
played
Machine
War
is-
Machine and Hordes?
Exactly.
That's what you do. You be an asshat and abuse and break the rules. Like, that's literally how the game has been played for the last
Yeah.
6 years.
Like we mentioned earlier, Pradar.
yeah.
It's like, hey, I
Radar.
activate this unit and I measure 10 inches off of everybody to my prey, and
So
there's all kinds of
that's
pre-measuring.
actually kind of funny that Pradar is gone, but pre-measuring is in.
I know,
like,
right?
You don't get the extra 2 inches movement. Maybe the 2 inches movement was a little much. I mean, you get +2/+2 anyway. 2 to hit, 2 to damage.
Yeah.
So maybe that's too much. But outside of
I
that,
don't
we
know.
missed some
They-
factions with the with our hiatus?
We did. So let's see. Trolls.
Was it Ret came first?
Was it Ret that came first?
It was
I
Ret,
don't know.
Trolls,
Ret,
and
Trolls,
Cock.
Cock.
We'll talk
Mercs
Ret first. Ret's
and Menoth are the factions that we've had insiders for since we last recorded.
Yep. So Ret was.
Okay, let's.
Yeah, I'll tell you my disappointment with it, and we'll see how you feel about it. Sure. I didn't care for the fact that it's relatively unchanged, and I mean Convergence is falling in the same boat almost, where they're saying outside of some point cost changes and a few things, we're leaving it relatively unchanged. Obviously, we saw Mage Hunter Strike Force get a nerf.
Invictors actually change a fair amount.
Oh, well, that's true PP fashion. They're hardly ever changing, but we think some models have abilities that they don't have, and we're giving abilities to models that already have the abilities. So, hey, you guys don't know your game all the time, which is sad.
Well,
but
I mean, at least Sentinels got a huge buff in that they have Vengeance all the time now.
Yeah,
that's something that needed to happen. But no, what was it? Invictors lose flank, gain assault. Was that what it was?
I think that sounds right. I remember the flank going away.
Their gun. Yeah. Sentinels have Vengeance all the time, so there might actually be a reason to take the UA. Mage Hunter Strike Force got the nerfs that they needed.
I think with their I see through everything ability being once per game, I think they're still relatively good.
Well, I don't know if you caught it, but yes, they ignore line of sight once per game, but there's no way for them to ignore concealment cover or anything else anymore.
Yeah, I did notice that where it's not quite what it once was.
No, it's not even close to what it once was, which is good. That needed to happen.
Maybe we'll see some better feats on them. Maybe we'll see some better upkeep spells available to them, but
yeah. I don't know. For that, staying largely unchanged. It's I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah,
I put out the joke. It's like, oh, so we seem to be seeing this trend of nerf to balance. So they're finally putting everybody else on Retribution's level.
Yeah, that's the good thing is everyone's getting brought down a peg, down to where Ret was. Ret was being competitive currently with a Raven theme force.
And a serious
theme force. So with those gone, that's the biggest nerf that they really have, I guess. That and the Strike Force, because the Strike Force were a big part of the Raven theme force, at least.
Yeah, and because of the Strike Force commander, we know that the Strike Force are going to be FA2.
So fuck you guys to bot 3 or more.
Yeah, exactly. Because Kalissa, Raven, and Gareth, I think, all put the unit to FAU in their theme forces. So, whatever. Then again, if somebody played Gareth's theme force, it was a lot of fun, and I don't know why you had 6 units of Strike Force for just that.
Yeah.
Because the Assassins aren't free, but you have a lot of them.
Because Gareth is fun, right? It's fun.
But, no, with Retribution, though, I think we know Ossian's feat stays the same, and he gained Deadeye, which is freaking fantastic.
He stole it from Haley, too. Sweet.
Yep.
Yeah, Deadeye is going to be great for him. Like, Strike Force with Deadeye. Who cares now?
Exactly. It's like, they don't ignore concealment or cover, but hey, Deadeye!
Yeah.
Suck it.
Stormfall Archers.
Stormfall Archers need something like that. Yeah.
Fantastic with Deadeye.
Yep, with Deadeye and additional die of damage if they hit that brutal.
Yeah.
Kalissa's Phantom
Hunter? What is it?
Yeah, Phantom
Seeker
Hunter.
or Hunter? It was one of the two.
Phantom Seeker, I think. I was surprised when I read that spell.
Big change is you ignore stealth with it.
Yes.
Which is...
It still has all the ignoring line of sight, concealment, cover, and now it ignores stealth, and now it's not an upkeep.
Nice.
Yeah. And it costs the same, so you can toss that out on 2 or 3 models easily. And when I saw that, first thing I did was go to the forums and ask, does the Banshee keep knockdown on his gun?
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, that can be a nice setup tool. And really, that just gives some spot removal in Ret, which is something that they really, really need.
Well, also refuge with Mage Hunter Assassins.
Yeah.
That's kind of good too.
That'll be fun. But yeah, in general, I think Ret's biggest failings were if you had key stealth models, they couldn't pick models out very well.
Oh, they started changing that with Rifleman and the Thane.
They did, but you had to do a fairly serious investment to get that, which, I mean, that's fine, I guess, because some factions don't have that at all. But being able to scalpel things out was definitely a problem. Their ability to stick around was quite a problem because they really relied on a heavy alpha. And outside of that, like if you deny the alpha in whatever way, their armies kind of just fell apart because you didn't have very good defensive or defense or armor buffs available or stats or anything like that. So maybe that'll change. We have seen a lot of models kind of get kicked in the nuts in that regard.
Yes.
Like Bane Warriors lose stealth. Tough is overall nowhere near as punishing to a faction like Red as it once was.
They lost Tough. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah. I mean, they have Rise, but they lost Tough.
Yeah, they lose Stealth. They lose Tough.
But
they're so much easier to kill now.
Bane Thralls in, and it's the Texas Raiders, who got nerfed to shit. If you don't know, they're nerfed to shit. We won't really go into that.
No.
And then just armies with a lot of Tough were just really infuriating to play against as Ret because you had a fairly good volume of attacks, but if someone's just cranking off Tough rolls against you, there goes your scenario game.
I think the Assassin is the... Oh, no. Imp has Crit Grievous, right? Or no, that's Moros.
Yeah, Moros was
I think Moros, Gareth, and Assassins are the only Tough removal, and I think all of that is still restricted to melee.
Yep.
So
I think overall they'll get a fairly nice bump, and the power factions might come down to their level a bit, which could be good.
We'll see. So next faction, Trolls. So we need to make we're going to make a video at some point of this.
Yeah, we'll have...
we're not going to tell you exactly what it is, but there may be a Troll Blood video on not this channel with some of the new rules.
Why not on this channel? we'll tell you.
Because I don't want it permanently associated on my channel. Throw it on one of my other ones.
Well...
Because technically I'm a press ganger and I have to... I don't want to get that revoked immediately.
Well, so what can we say about Trolls? They took away the armor stacking by removing the Earthborn's old Animus. They took away the wall on demand.
Thank God. But they gave you Hill on demand, which is interesting.
It's terrible. One, when you place the hill, nothing can be touching it.
I know, so that's got to be a big open area for you to place that hill.
And you're playing a medium base army.
Yeah.
So, good luck with that. And then, it's a hill, and with new terrain rules, including the hill, you have to be completely
on it.
So your 4-inch hill, you're not really going to get a whole lot on there.
But you can put 7 medium base models on there, right?
Yeah, if you don't know how to add, you can totally do that. As long as your opponent is all right with it, then you can do it.
I still can't believe you sent me that, or that you were talking to somebody that was saying that.
Yeah,
that's insane. Your huge bases will never get any benefit from it.
Never get any benefit. So, yeah, I mean.
Like,
that's one way to make sure there's 2 ways to make sure character restrictions are not a problem. You nerf Janissa. So let's think about the wall for a second. The wall was pretty much incredibly important, not just for giving you the Earthborn Animus +2 armor on demand, but also for just, here's more defense, make me harder to shoot, deny non-reach attacks. Like,
Yeah.
it did a lot for the faction.
Well, it also helped with control denial as well, because now you have this 3/4 inch spot. It's harder to
And
TK. You can't push.
You can't push beyond the wall. Once you hit the wall, you've stopped. Yep. For a faction that needs to move forward and get hit, the wall was pretty much the best thing that they had access to in the game.
Yeah.
It allowed you to say, I'm going to take less damage. I'll skew the odds on taking damage, and I can keep myself in a zone. I can pin myself in a zone with it. I mean, there were so many great things that the wall did, which are gone. You do have Earth's Blessing on the Earthborn and on the Bouncer, which, no push.
Which, hey, you stole a circle, Anime.
You can... Oh, was that
That's
called
the-
Earth's Blessing too?
Yep.
Okay,
That's the Wold Watcher.
So the downside with it is you can still be TK'd. Place
Yep.
effects still happen. So that's
The new
a
thing to
downer.
Earth's Blessing is the not being moved by a slam part.
Oh, okay, that's a new one.
Because remember your Impaler slamming the Wold Watchers around and that being
yes.
annoying for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore.
So it got buffed. So Earthborn, he was kind of wrecked. Janissa, she was kind of wrecked. Mulg was
Oh man,
man
Mold
was
hurt.
man some
Oh my
some
gosh.
things fall hard.
Did-
And
Taps, right? That's the one.
yeah. Yeah, he did. I would put his level of nerfs up there with the Satixis Raider nerfs.
Yeah.
So he, like, in terms of like how that hits you and how that hits the faction,
No
they're
s-
like,
Yeah, no speed buff, or no getting angry speed buff, no protective fit. Thank God protective fit's gone.
for some people.
Yeah. But he's the only remains the only dire troll with reach.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
So they took a strength away from him. They took a fury away from him.
Oh, that's right.
They took two of his
strength
special
thing.
rules away from him.
Yup.
And they took his affinity with Doom Shaper away. They gave him an additional attack. So
Yeah, what is his affinity with Doomie now?
we don't know at this point. So
Oh.
it's pretty rough times for Mulg. They're like, hey, you can now have a reach heavy in both of your lists because we took character restrictions away.
Yep.
By the way, Mulg, he lost a fury, he lost his strength, he lost protective fit, and he lost his
speed.
relentless advance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty rough for Mulg considering he's speed 4 still.
Yeah.
He's only a
That hurts.
POW 18, POW 16, which is pretty rough. And with 5 Fury. So what they're trying to do here is they're trying to say, if you could one round a Gargossel, now you can't.
Yeah.
That's their goal with a lot of the
That's-
changes to these characters.
That's what it seems like. With what they said of Getorix, I'm a little scared for Circle still. Because they did say Getorix is still the highest damaging output of any of the war pools. And with the nerfs that we've seen, like to Mulg and Karn and others, I'm going, oh no.
Well, we can hope. So, sadly, two of the faction-defining models have been really neutered for trolls, and I'm sure that's pretty rough. Burrowers are another one that got hit incredibly hard.
Yeah. Burrow is a really interesting rule now. Interesting in how it's worded, and I'm not saying that it's good.
No, you cannot re-burrow. That's
Yeah.
one potential.
Once you pop up, you are up. But you can pop up and dig in right away.
Woohoo!
I know, right?
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's good. It's
what-
now complete within 4 inches instead of within 5, which means you lost an effective 2 inches.
Yep.
Which I mathed it out before. I think you lose like 12 total area inches. I'd have to math it out again to make sure. But you lose a lot in total area that you can place them in. And they have to sack their combat or combat or movement.
Or movement. Yeah, one or the other.
So
But if they sack combat, they can still advance and dig in. But
yeah,
I say that as a silver lining thing. They were already advanced deploy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that doesn't change it. It's interesting though because we know it's going to be the same for the Helldiver, which that change actually becomes a bit better for the Helldiver than the Burrowers, because
You can't forget it and then lose it.
yeah, as well as on turn 2, the Helldiver burrow marker still ends up at the same spot. Oh no, it's still further back because he doesn't pop up within 3 advance and then hop back down again.
But
And turn 1 it doesn't really change much for him, but turn 2 on it does.
the Burrowers also lose point blank, which is the main way that they were
yeah.
effective, because most of the buffs in Trolls
Are
were
melee focused.
focused buffs. So yeah, there were a lot of things that went bad with that.
Yeah.
To say that they made things better, they're like, pretty much you get 1-inch melee on most of your Trolls, and I mean, you could look at that as a good thing or a bad thing. But Krill Warriors, for example, they lose their prayers, so they lose Fervor and Swiftfoot.
Do they lose their prayers? I missed that one.
Yeah, they lost their prayers, Fervor and Swiftfoot,
Ouch.
which is sad. And then they also lost Steady. Now they get Unyielding, and they have Reposition 3. So Reposition 3, you're like, okay, that's pretty good.
Yep.
But you have
I'm going to need another beer. You want one?
Yeah.
Okay. Same or switch it up?
I'll switch it up this time.
All right. Have fun rambling.
Yeah, so this time around, instead of being able to run 12 inches with your Krill Warriors, you can run 10, and you can't reposition on a turn that you run. So you lose some ability to get up table, which is kind of sad for the Krill Warriors. Their point cost may make it all right. It may make it a little bit better. But now Finblades are seeming a lot stronger. And then for Finblades, they lost set defense, which is a pretty big problem for them. And they traded set defense for Cleave, which Cleave is definitely, it can be good. It gives them an additional attack, which, I mean, I don't really complain about that. But
if you kill, though, right?
Yeah, you have to kill, and we'll have to see if they maintain no quarter, because no quarter would definitely have to change, in that it gave Terror and Fearless before.
Yeah.
And so if they just lose that and you get plus 2 inches of movement in Pathfinder, then it's still fine. But I've seen a few mini feats go away, so we'll have to see if mini feats are still a thing.
Like, was it Iron? No. Is it Iron Seal? Whatever the Zealots had. The Monolith
Bear lost his.
Yeah. That was necessary, though, with the change to...
Satixis Raiders lost Power Swell.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to look at a few others and see if mini feats are completely gone, or...
No, they are not gone, because we know the Invictors still keep their Snipe mini feat.
Okay.
Also, the Mage Hunter Strike Force has the Phantom Hunter mini feat.
That's right. So mini feats might still stick around. No quarter will have to change, definitely. There's only 2 units that have it. Finblade UA and Walls. They
That's right.
Outside of that, so Trolls going forward, how are they going to look? It's tough. They lost pretty much what made them a strong faction. It was already going to be really tough in that you lost the 2 theme forces that made you really competitive in the game because you had a point cost issue.
Yep.
But going into Mark II, or Mark III, maybe that point cost issue is resolved. But now they've taken away your ability to armor stack, which was the other way that you remain competitive.
So the playstyle remains to not lose, except now that's more difficult.
Yeah, it's walk forward and get hit with your victim stats, but tough is worse. You can't stack armor as high, and you don't have theme force to make sure you have a lot of models on the table.
Well, we'll see what the new contracts have. I'm just going to call them contracts because it's easier to think of them that way.
Exactly. Well, you get +2 threshold on Warbeast.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Hey. Because that matters.
We'll see how Trolls go. For something that might be good in Trolls. Hey, your Orthbrone is 15 points. Maybe you can spam them.
He is cheap.
They're 32 boxes still. They were going to add a few more boxes to the Troll Heavies, which I've been really wanting. I thought 28 was ridiculous considering their stat line.
No kidding.
I thought it was really terrible.
Did Rock go up in boxes?
He should. So the Mauler is the only one that remains Fury 5, because the Earthborn also lost a Fury. And since Rock is a character mauler, hopefully still Fury 5. And he also gets Stumbling Drunk with Borka. So, hey, that's
kind of cool.
That'll be something.
Yeah.
Outside of that, they gave 6 more boxes to the Glacier King and Mountain King, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
But sadly, with the state of the 4 Dire Trolls, the bomber got worse. In that
why is the bomber reload?
They really dropped the ball there. If he needs snipe, which most of the time you do, if he needs snipe, he's less fury efficient than before.
Yeah,
which is sad because he didn't have enough fury to do everything that he wanted before.
No, he didn't. I mean, yeah, when we saw the change to Far Strike and that the bomber had it, I was really hoping for troll players that he would keep ROF 2.
Yep.
But now, even when I saw Reloaded, I got into an argument with somebody about who was stoked about the bomber, and I'm going, I don't get it. Yeah. No, this seems bad.
And then the Blitzer also lost Repulse. I forget what they said his new anime is, but that was the only reason you played a Blitzer.
Yeah.
Was for Repulse. So,
and I think Dozer and Smig lost his veteran leader.
He lost the veteran leader
as well.
Bomber and Blitzer got +1 mat, which I mean maybe that's a thing, but not really considering how low their POW is. And overall, just in general, the POW is incredibly low on the trolls now. POW 16 is the top end unless you're a character Mulg or Rock. And you essentially need to have Rage from a Mauler
or Mountain King.
Yeah, you need to have Rage from one of the two, because the Slag and Pyro Troll are going to have self-animi now.
Yep. By the way, is it just me, or is having a range 6 animi on multiple beasts one of the easiest ways to invalidate one of them?
In this situation, I actually think they did a good job in that the Mauler remaining, like, if you look at all the Dire Trolls that exist now, he's pretty much the best because he's still Fury 5. The Mat 6 is rough. He needs his Animus to really have power output. So we'll have to see how Mark III really plays out to know if it's a good choice. But I think it's a good choice because he's 15 points versus the 38, I believe the Mountain King was. 36 or 38.
36, I think.
Yeah, he was somewhere in there. So that might be a decent way for them to share those two animi, and that maybe you don't want to have a Gargoyle on the table. So overall, though, we'll have to see how trolls turn out. The only bonus I could say is with the Chains of Gumbjorn's feet saying you take no damage from range attacks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And the new caster, I forget his name. He has the part of Doomy 3's feat that Doomy 3 lost, except it affects all models instead of just battle group. Remove a damage die. So, and then if you also look at Surefoot, which is now model unit instead of model and within 3 and all that junk that it was before.
Yeah, simplified.
It's simplified, and now you can put it on a unit to give them higher def. So if you look at that and then those two feats, maybe they're helping trolls deliver things a little bit better.
Yep.
But victim stats are still a problem. The POW seems like it's going to be a bit of an issue because you can't put Rage on or Flaming Fists or any of that stuff on your units anymore.
Yeah.
So it's looking pretty rough for trolls right now, but we'll have to see the full faction to really know.
Though speaking of Gumbjorn and simplifying, Explosivo.
Yeah.
Thank God that got simplified.
It seems like Shatterstorm now.
Yeah, it does.
So I think Explosivo is
much simpler rule now, though.
The only question I had with it is, and if it works the way I think, it's kind of cool, I guess. So if you throw a bomber 4-inch AoE, so it hits, the AoE hits and everything, and if you direct hit, you send a 3-inch AoE over the thing that you directly hit as well. So you get double AoEs pretty much. So we have to look at that to confirm that's how it works. But the way I read it, that's how it works. So before,
that's kind of fun.
Explosivo would shrink your AoE, which sucked. Now,
no, I thought Explosivo would keep the AoE the same, and if you were AoE blank, you gained AoE.
Okay,
3.
yeah, I think that's after the errata. I think that was after the first errata on it.
Hey, Explosivo. it does something.
Yeah,
and
it
was
does something.
confusing as crap in Mark II already.
Now though, I like the way it's set up, because the way it was worded, you would get essentially double AoEs out of it, which is kind of cool. If you have a bigger or if you're an AoE in general, I think we'll have to look to make sure, but that could be a good thing for it. Convergence.
Yeah,
they stayed
they're
the same.
Corollary doesn't spend focus to hand.
They're like, hey, we didn't want to work hard on this one, so you can put up to 3. You can move up to 3 focus around, and if you're clever, you can move it all the way back to your corollary. Isn't that cool? That's cool, right, guys?
Yeah. Induction is no longer limited. Enigma Foundry is completely within 3 as opposed to within 1, which is actually a buff. Corollary doesn't spend. Axis' feet got reworded so it still denies charges and slams.
How they're going to end up?
One other change somewhere.
For how they're going to end up, I mean, recursion's nowhere near as good as it was in Mark II, because you're limited to, like, you have to sacrifice your combat action the turn you come back.
Yeah.
So you don't get the full effect out of the models that you recur. So they could be worse in that aspect, and also losing their theme forces. But overall, I think they'll be in a similar situation as Ret, where they were competing with their theme forces. The theme forces are gone, but they didn't really get changed much at their core, other than that recursion.
And even then, there's only Watt's really been the only player that's had major success with them.
Yep, pretty much.
I don't think anybody else has.
No one
so
else
far.
has.
So, like, okay.
Yeah.
And Lucant doesn't have purification. We don't know what he has. Oh no, he has the dispel on.
He gives his
Valor
Jax
weapons.
dispel with melee attacks, which is it's okay.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
Oh, that's what it was. Convergence medium base infantry retain 8 wounds, and they're the only ones outside of the Man of War.
They're like, Man of War, you're the only ones. Wait, no. Convergence are there too, but
Both you
they're
guys
made out
are-
of metal.
Exactly. Both you guys are made out of metal. You have metal suits or some stuff. You get to keep 8 boxes. Everybody else, you're at 5. Okay, so that's Convergence. Mercs.
I didn't pay attention. It's Mercs.
I didn't pay too much attention either.
Let's see.
They
what did
made
they
a mention
say?
of trying to keep everything friendly faction, and then ranking officers are still a thing, and so they had to rebalance that even more so, because the ranking officers were kind of a loophole in that.
Yeah. So Anna and Holt got dicked. They won't
they
won't be included in at least one of your pairings anymore, because Kiss is now only affecting your faction models.
Yeah, so Ret is
So other
totally not
mercenaries.
happy about that.
Ret, Menoth, Signar, they were all heavy. Even Kador. But Kador would often throw Valachev on there just because you could give Holt and Iona Zephyr.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be fine.
I mean, that's the thing. You
if
can
they still
slap.
have.
Yeah, you can slap a ranking officer on Ion and Holt with.
But
other
in the other
factions.
factions, I don't think it's incredibly worth it. So
No,
we'll see how that pans out. Really, how that changes. Outside of that, there was a Durgan was brought about, and hey, it's Durgan.
Yeah.
Cool. Constance was spoiled, and she was like Constance still.
Still has the. Oh, I hate her feet.
Wow.
Still,
Okay.
It's like
That and she has ghetto transference. Did you see that?
I know it's only
I'm
for
like,
Morrowind
you made her
anymore.
worse.
Oh my
you
God.
made her
No,
worse.
no. So there is no such thing as Scornergy. There are people just don't like options. So can you please explain to me this feat and how it's not Scornergy?
Yeah. Well,
So you get a bunch of souls to get focus for your following turn with your feat. However, the more souls you have, the harder it is to kill everything to get more souls to fuel your next turn with the wait.
Yeah. Well,
Is that not Scornergy?
That's just you walk a fine line. It's a delicate tightrope walk, and all you should be doing is getting all that focus and then using her shitty AoE spell or her flashing blade to kill everything, right?
Or bring all the Morrowinds to...
God, it's fucking terrible.
So
sad for her.
Connie B challenge is still going to be a thing.
What's pretty hilarious is they're like, all right, which caster should we spoil? We'll do a dwarf because everyone loves dwarves, right? No, like 5 people like dwarves.
Yeah.
And the dwarf that they like isn't Durgan.
No.
They like the other 2 better than him, just straight up. But so I guess some people like him. But they didn't do the interesting Merc casters. Like,
yeah,
let's do Connie B. No, who played Connie B in Mercs anyway? Like, who played Connie B at all? Why are you gonna spoil her?
When you have something called the Connie B challenge, there's a problem. And with the changes to her, they
sounded excited, like she's so much better
right?
too.
Oh my gosh, no.
What
No,
fucking
she's
world
not.
do you live
Her
in?
feet stayed the same. That is horrible.
They gave her ghetto transference.
Which is
like
worse.
That's all I have to say is you gave her ghetto transference.
But Gallant can use it now.
Fuck that. Like,
yup.
So there's your win condition right there.
But
Get Gallant on it.
Cephalix are still secluded.
So Cephalix prompted one of my favorite forum threads.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So.
I know the one you're talking about. Oh, this one's kind of amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty great. It
Another
was pretty
time
much
to call the Attorney General, right?
PP, you need to fix this.
Oh, yeah.
And to a certain extent, they just sold an all-in-one box, which, mind you, they sold out of. You couldn't get your hands on Cephalix within like a week, right?
I haven't opened mine yet.
Yeah, so Ben got one. Hey, Ben, is there a model in there that you can no longer use in Mark III? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's a pistol wraith.
So refund me my pistol wraith monies now.
From my all-in-one box.
Yeah. So sad. I guess that's sad times. They said they weren't going to do anything like that. They did it. It's Cephalix. It's like a small
Circle can't
corner.
take Primaris anymore. That actually makes me sad.
Damn that. Oh darn, my $11 model invalidated.
Kruger 2's Theme Force. He could take Primaris.
It wasn't in Kruger 1?
No, it was Kruger 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the problem was he could pretty much just brought wolves.
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
So, Cephalix, they got dicked a bit. You can't take any of the Crix models anymore.
Your Merc attachment, though, the attachment that allowed you to bring other Merc units in there became FA2.
Yay. Outside of that, I mean, maybe I'll look at Mercs and see how they look power-wise when we see the whole thing. Maybe I'll consider them. But in general, their jacks were just nothing that I really cared about. No. I don't really care about the pirate stuff. I don't really care about the dwarf stuff. Don't really care about most of it. So
yeah, but hey, when you repair jacks in Mercenaries, they're better.
Okay.
Because they have that, what's it called? I don't know. They have a special rule that says when you repair them, you add one to the repair roll.
Well, that's fun, I guess. They balanced one of the... So in Mark II, there was a fairly awesome list that was just Earthbreaker and the newest Dwarf Caster. And it was pretty much just you could knock down any caster and then kill them immediately because he had Thor and Earthbreaker.
Oh yeah, tune-up got changed pretty necessarily.
Awesome. So Osram was that's the caster. He pretty much just made shit faster and had snipes, so it was easier to do this shit. So Thor is now you have to choose one or the other, attack or damage.
No. Thor fully boosts the next attack. And
that's right. It was always one or the other. This one is just the first attack.
Yep.
So that's a nice change. It sucks for Merc players, but everyone got nerfs. You had to get a nerf too.
And Thor needed to be nerfed because of what he did to the Earthbreaker.
So hopefully the Earthbreaker is the same. Other than that,
yeah. Let's
go to Menites.
I did not care about this one.
Me either. Fucking hate Menoth. You know, Menoth has some things that I like in the faction. I thought Zealots were great.
Yep.
I thought Harbinger was awesome.
Yep.
Fiora was kind of a cool character. I didn't really care for her playstyle that much. I thought the book was an awesome control piece. But outside of the control that they had with the vassals, the choir, the book, and the zealots, outside of that, I didn't really care for the faction that much.
I don't know. Errants were pretty awesome.
Errants were good. I mean, yeah, if you're going to have them, and especially when you're playing them with Harbinger, because you have Piper give them tough, and then Harbinger keeps them alive if they do fail the tough. And I mean, that was fun.
They have that, and then all kinds of survival.
Yeah, Bond of Brotherhood and all that. So,
yeah.
But all that get fucked.
Yeah.
Pretty much. The zealots.
What is the zealot mini feat now?
I don't remember. They fucked him over though.
Yeah. Errants actually have assault now.
Yay! Riley will be happy about that, except for what they lost.
I know. We've already been teasing him because somebody on this
they
channel
heard your
out.
pleas. You got assault.
Yeah.
Sweet.
The way you were playing him, turns out that's legit now. So, considering Frank and I haven't cared about Manoth on this one, then that I don't know how long Riley would be playing that way, and none of us caught it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
They made Harbinger's feet only affect her control area? Or her command range?
But her command is now 10.
I think it was always 10, because Martyr was within 10.
I don't remember.
That's shit, man.
I know.
Talk about, I mean, and we let her off easy. You redefined what a feat means by making it her command range, not her control area. I mean,
but she keeps purification.
She kept 10 focus, I guess, but you redefined what a feat meant. And it wasn't even the most powerful feat out there. It's not even. It's a good feat. It's not an S feat though. You want to see an S feat that they fucked over? Look at Diddy.
No, that is an A feat. That's not an S feat. That is definitely an A feat.
Yeah, it's an A feat because there's so many things don't care about it. There are things that can completely ignore it.
Well, if you're immune to fire, you just go. Tra-la-la-la-la.
Yeah, immune to fire, you don't care. Which that's where Old Witch is better. Hers is just you take a magic damage attack or some shit like that.
If you're high armor or
high armor, multi wound.
Yeah.
Those sorts of things, you just really didn't care about it. So I think that's pretty sad, actually.
Also, speaking of nerf to Harbinger, the new focus, what was it? I don't know what they called it anymore, but the pseudo transfer
focus shield, that's gonna suck for her.
Yeah,
it's gonna suck for a lot of casters. So instead of one focus equaling one armor, you now can discard a focus to absorb up to 5 points of damage.
Yep.
So
I'm about to kill Imperatus.
So if they hit you with 7 damage, you only take 2.
Yep. It works on fire and it works on corrosion.
Yeah, I mean,
sure. You can.
That helps.
Yeah,
that helps her as fire. Because fire was a bit of a problem because
if you have a leftover focus, you just moot the corrosion anyways.
No, in Mark II, you discard your focus.
Yeah.
Then the fire happens, then you replenish.
Yep.
So, focus never could help you in the fire or corrosion situation. So this makes it a little bit better for fire specifically, but.
Like 1 point of corrosion, that doesn't matter too much, but
for Minites, did they get any other hard nerfs other than the choir's nerfed and they nerfed Harbinger a bit? I mean, she still has martyrdom. You removed 10 inches and then an area off of her feet. Like her feet affects almost nothing now compared to what it used to.
I know.
It's like, let me feet so that if you try and charge me,
yes.
I won't take as much damage because an average threat range these days is 9 or 10 inches. So man, that's rough. Especially when she can't camp 24 anymore, armor 24 anymore.
Yeah, it's not a nerf, but Krios 1 with the change to tough got major buffed against those armies.
Yeah, I thought
he keeps the same feat.
I thought the change to
purification.
I thought the change to Severius 1 was good. They removed Eye of Menoth, but then they just gave it to him as an ability.
Yeah.
So I guess it'll depend on if that is still in his control area or if they made it his command.
Oh, if it's command, that's horrible.
But if it's control area, he's better. Like, sweet.
Yeah.
And they gave him a better. They made his feet more relevant, I think.
Yes.
That's what I remember reading.
It did.
They made it so you cannot be channeled through, so that you can actually affect hordes now. So that's a nice change. Other than that, though, Menoth is Menoth, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, I just realized where I put that beer bottle, and that's amusing to me.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So now we have minions, Signar,
and Circle.
That remain.
Not looking forward to the Circle one. Though we did see a pretty cool sculpt for a new Circle character beast.
Yep.
I'm kind of excited for that guy, honestly.
God, I hate Privateer Press a lot of the time because they have all these stupid dire trolls where they only have 4 of them, right? And they can't do anything cool or different with them, and they can't like give us a new one. There hasn't been a new dire troll since Mark II released. That's when the bomber came.
Okay,
Prior to that, there were 3 dire trolls. So in 6 years, they haven't given a new non-character dire troll. And
they gave you Rock.
He's a character.
Okay, yeah.
He's
non-character dire troll.
He's a non-character dire troll.
You have 2 character dire trolls, though. Now Circle has 2 character Whirlpools.
God. Well, sure, I guess. Yours has a fucking, what appears to be a grappling hook so you can drag people in. And a fucking shield. So a fucking shield. Yes! So, yeah, let's get some more armor. Yeah, let's get some more armor. Yes! Fuck that. Stupid fucking Circle. They're going to get nerfed so hard.
I hope not.
It's going to be hilarious.
No, so, what was it? I think it was either the Leyline or somebody else mentioned, all this playtesting and internal playtesting and everything, this is in Seattle, this is in the Northwest where it's Legion Central. So they probably don't even know what Circle can do, especially since DC left. And he was probably the best Circle player they had internally. It's
interesting that they are leaving Signar and Circle to be the last ones, because I think in the War Machine and the Hordes factions, I think those two are probably at the top. Krix was definitely at the top before Stormwall, before all these other factions got anti-troop removal and all that. But
top 4 in order, probably Krix, Legion, Circle, Signar.
Yeah.
Actually, Legion and Krix might switch.
I think Krix fell a little bit toward the end of Mark II.
No, you're right. So it's probably Legion Krix. Circle,
yeah, just with all the nerfs to the Lich 2 feet, all the nerfs to
making Shadowbind shakeable.
Yeah, they nerfed Negra 2, they nerfed Lich 2, they gave a lot of factions the ability to just mass remove infantry. So Krix, I definitely think, fell a little bit. And Signar.
We already shook. The game ended. I won on scenario.
Woohoo.
Okay.
Morvahna feet for the win.
Yeah. My plan for pretty much, or after turn 2, after seeing how much of the Invictors I killed, it was, okay, let's see if I can save my feet to just do that and win on scenario and not clock myself at, hey, 420. Somebody's going to love that one.
Yep, and I wanted him to clock. But
yeah, you came close.
Yeah, could have been a lot closer.
Yeah, whatever. Let's see. What were we talking about?
Well, it's just the last 2 factions, besides minions. Maybe 2 of the factions that needed some of the biggest changes.
Yeah.
We saw Haley 2. They nerfed her feet again.
Did they?
Yeah. It's no longer model unit.
Oh, okay.
So now you have to catch everyone to affect them, whereas if you just caught a model in the unit, they're all fucked.
Okay, that makes sense though.
So, and then they took Deadeye away from her. I think she's still fairly powerful.
Oh yeah, she's still She's
so
still plenty powerful.
she'll still be up there.
Yeah.
But other than that, who knows what's happening to Signar and Circle. For changes that we would like to see happen to those two factions.
I hope Shifting Stones are completely within 10. I think that's a dream, but I really hope it is.
I hope they're completely within 6.
Yeah, considering all the teleport spells we've seen so far have been completely within 6.
Every other teleport spell is within 6.
That's kind of what I expect, at which point it makes charging a much more interesting option for Circle for once.
I think they need to do that. So they took away free charges from Scorn. That's been confirmed with Zakar.
That's crazy.
They took a Fury away from the Bronze back, and then they also took away free charges. So overall, their effectiveness and their efficiency is just out the window. I think if they're going to have teleports, being in this position where you can just ignore everything like line of sight, impassable terrain, all this shit, just models in the way. If you're going to ignore that, 6 inches.
Yeah, that's all of the ones we've seen so far.
If it's completely within 8 still, I think it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
If it's completely within 6, you may have to rethink Stones being in every list.
If it's completely within 6, Stones are going to come out of a lot of lists.
Yeah.
Because, completely within... I can walk that far.
Primal is the same, so you happy about that?
Yes, Primal is the same, and... I might actually have a use for 2 regular Argai now.
Yeah, the Argus...
Because what the fuck?
The Argus is good, because they're like, hey, we have a lot of people that own these Argus. Let's do something to help them out.
Yeah, a lot of people gave away those Argai.
The thing that I'm not particularly happy about looking at the way we've seen the Circle so far is their point costs.
Yeah.
The lights are all 7 points so far.
Yep. Well, we've only seen 2 of them, but...
3, right?
3? Who's the third?
Is there 2 Argus in the battle box?
No, it's Argus, Gorax, Pureblood.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, only 2 so far. They're both 7 points, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad when you look at the point cost of the other lights and the other factions so far.
Trolls.
And I guess to talk about the battle boxes, I was really worried that going in Mark III, they're just going to try and homogenize the game, bring equality to all the factions and all that.
Yeah.
If you look at the Horde's battle boxes, 3 factions have almost the exact same beast in them.
Yep.
It's really sad. So, one of them is 12-17. The other 2 are 13-16.
Yep.
One of them is 2 points cheaper. The other 2 are both 11 points. And they all have the Snipe Animus. And they all do essentially the same thing. They have little different things. The Scorn one is probably the worst, and that's why he's 9 points. The Legion one, maybe he has a push and a crit knockdown versus the Troll, which has the crit slam, which is, at least with the Legion one, you get a push always.
Yeah.
But that was pretty sad, I thought. I think those beasts are useless. I mean, maybe they'll see play with their point costs, and because you can't give Snipe out, I think they're pretty useless.
Far Strike becoming range self.
The Legion and the Impaler, the Troll and Legion one, 11 points is like, holy crap. Especially when you consider you have a heavy in both those factions for only a few more points.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, the Nerf has flat sprint.
And he's met 7.
Yeah.
Great change, but the Fury 3 is rough.
Yes.
So Fury 3 Warp Wolves.
No, we know the Pureblood's Fury 4.
He's special.
Screw you.
He's special.
We already had a beast go down a Fury. We don't need all the rest of them.
Dude, every beast in Trolls got fucked over.
The Circle doesn't have a Fury 5.
Oh, man.
Seriously, we do not have a Fury 5 currently. We have a Fury 4 Light that's now going down.
So far, your point costs are really strong, and I think that bodes well for the faction.
For our lights.
But teleport, well, I think even the Pureblood is he's fairly well costed, especially when you look at him, at the Earthborn. Okay, yeah.
3 points more. And
he's not 18.
Yeah, he is.
They're Pureblood?
Yeah, the Pureblood's 18.
Oh.
He straight doubled in point cost.
I thought he ended up cheaper.
No. He stayed the exact same point cost, basically. He lost leadership warp pools for everybody else to warp Ghostly. Gained
No one
assault.
took Pure Bloods anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So, same cost, gained assault, and there might be one other thing on him. Oh, yeah, he gained 2 boxes.
Oh, yeah. He got extra boxes.
Yeah.
So he's not as squishy.
Yeah.
If all the Warp Wolves gain boxes, that's going to suck.
No, my stalker. I fear my stalker.
We'll see. I hope to see Circle really hammered. And for Signar,
I think you and everybody else in Albuquerque.
I think most people want to see Circle drop down.
Yeah. Again, you and almost everybody else in Albuquerque. Not me.
And the rest of the nation.
Yeah. No.
They were in a similar boat where they probably ignored a little too much in the game.
Yep.
And then they had a few casters that were just a little too high on. They were a little too high on the power scale.
I did just play one of them.
Considering that War Machine's supposed to have the superior casters because they don't have the powerful battle groups. A few of the Circle and a few of the Legion casters would just be a bit too much. Like playing Legion is incredibly simple.
Front toward enemy, shoot.
Yeah, and playing Circle, once you can handle placement, which you don't have as many models on the table, so it's fairly easy to pick up.
Yep.
With the way teleports work,
you still had to learn how to use the shifting stones.
you gotta learn. Well, get a laser.
There's still a pain of a
get a laser and learn how to pre-measure within the rules. And at that point, you've got Circle down. So maybe the Feral is going to be the strong one, and then the Stalker is going to be Fury 3. And
no, that would make no sense even fluff-wise, because the Stalkers are the more intelligent Warples, which is why they're given a weapon.
Well, that's why they're going to lose a Fury.
You son of a.
Well, we'll see. For Signar,
they're probably losing their Animus.
I think Gun Mages will probably get brought down a bit.
Yep.
If they have an armor 16 unit, something that isn't Boom Howlers.
Stormguard?
They're 15 currently.
Yeah.
If they get something that's armor 16, they could be a decent faction, since everything is, well, not everything, but a lot of things have moved toward, let's make things faction specific, so you're not getting as much benefit out of your mercs. So I think they need a single wound infantry unit that is fairly fast and effective that has armor 16.
We have not seen the fate of Iron Flesh or Arcane Shield yet.
Arc Shield we know still exists.
Yeah, we know Iron Flesh exists as well. It got referenced in Mercs.
I think if Iron Flesh is still around, then are you wondering if they're going to flip them? That way they're actually making sense.
I
Shield being defense and Iron Flesh being armor. Yeah, you would think that's how it works.
Yeah, considering deflection now is a +2 defense, and then deceleration is +2 armor.
Yeah, so they fixed that one. Maybe they'll fix the other one.
Yeah, because I don't remember who went into the forums and said, "Oh, you think Iron Flesh still exists the same way as it does now, if it exists at all?" Well, now we know it exists.
Yeah,
so.
I think that was Schick.
Was it Schick?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. No. I think it was it was either Agel or Victoria. It's one of the PPS staffers that hasn't been posting a bunch of spoilers.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, we shall soon find out. A week or two.
Yes.
It's not this coming weekend, but the weekend after, right? That's when Lock and Load hits.
I think we've got 3 weeks. So let's see. Due to calendar, you guys get to enjoy me watching me do this. 3 weeks from today. Or 3 weeks from tomorrow.
So sad.
Or over 3 weeks from tomorrow, because I don't think any of us are going to hit the Privateer Press site fast enough.
Yeah.
By the way, if any of you guys do get to the Privateer Press site fast enough to get the new rules and everything,
Screen cap everything.
screen cap everything, please download them and share them on a Dropbox or something else. Privateer Press on or at least on their Primecast or everything else I've seen, they allow redistribution as long as it's not for profit. If we can create backups so that when the Privateer Press site is inevitably down, we can still access this stuff, that would be great.
Don't rely on War Room because it probably won't work.
Good God, no. No.
Bro, if it works, I'll be amazed.
Yeah. Oh, man, I wish I knew exactly what time, because I may be up at midnight going, is it updated? Is it updated? Is it updated? Is it updated?
You and about, 20,000 other people, maybe.
I know. If I get lucky, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody on their left at F5, F5, F5.
This is all I have to do all day.
Yes.
Well.
I do not expect to get any games played that day.
Yep. Other than that, more faction nerfs.
Yep.
Prepare for the worst if you haven't seen your nerfs already.
I don't know. From what I've seen of Circle's Battle Box, it still feels like Circle Christmas.
Yep. If Circle gets away unscathed, it'll be pretty interesting, but it'll just mean I know what faction I'm playing.
Yeah. Rat 6, ignore a bunch of shite, and Shadowbind Gun on our new Warlock. And seriously, what the F with the new Argus Animi? Just no roll to hit, nothing like that. You thought Curse was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it's on an animi, maybe?
Okay, sure.
Sure.
At least they put him to speed 6 and not 7. Whatever. I'm excited to play that.
I'm excited to shoot it to death.
No. Druid clouds! They still block line of sight. Oh, yeah, that's another
Assuming druids still have clouds.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? If Sentry Stones still create forest, that is a huge buff to Circle.
Yeah, definitely. It gives you a much better matchup into Legion.
Yeah.
Which really, to play into Legion, I think Bradigus was the best drop you had from what I remember when I played Legion into you.
Bradigus and Chromac too if you weren't playing Saren.
Yeah, I didn't really play Legion by the time Chromac 2 dropped to really know that
we
one.
played Chromac 2 versus Saren a couple times, and that always makes me sad.
Sad times.
Yep.
Yeah, so hey, you get a Legion matchup.
Yeah,
I'm sure Circle will be happy
really
about
good
that.
Legion matchup. At least my Sentry Stones are painted. Yay, Bradigus. All right. Well, we've covered all the factions. I don't think we have much left to go over.
No, it's almost time.
Yep.
No Quarter has some battle reports and all the battle boxes in it. You can kind of look at them and see how you feel about the new battle boxes.
Yep. And the battle boxes is 100% okay to spread that stuff around as much as you guys want. I am obligated to say this. Yeah. When Miranda said multiple times on our hangout that I'm probably the meanest PG ever, she might not be lying. I'll admit that.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. At least I haven't stuffed anybody's model in a Twinkie.
Yeah, PGs are supposed to lose their games and make the new players feel good about themselves.
Yeah, my problem is I dice spike on that. Like, I have tried that, and then I go for some janky crap, and it's like, I'm going to throw this model at you. And that model killed something it had no business killing. Well, crap. Like, seriously, there was one game, I'm like, I think it was an 8 to hit. I'm going, do I buy an attack or not? Odds are against me.
That's
if
when
I
you
buy
go,
an attack,
I'm camping. I'm just camping.
Yeah. Like, if I buy an attack, it makes it easier for him to kill me. Da, da, da. I bought an attack and I ended up winning. I was like, oh, well, crap.
Yeah, good old dice.
Yep. Well, I think we've rambled long enough.
Yeah, can't wait for Mark 3.
Yes.
Outside of that, I'm going to be playing some battle box games. Sweet.
What?
Oh, yeah. Because all I'm going to have for a while is battle box stuff. So.
Oh.
Unless I
Yeah,
want
that's fine.
Unless I
And
want to
then-
play with some other people's models or whatever, but
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what I have, and you can always ask to borrow whatever.
yeah. I think it'll be. I like the idea of the new Rumble format, so we'll see if that's actually
Yeah,
any
that
good.
should be.
And the way the battle boxes were currently balanced, I think smaller point games could be a lot more interesting. We'll have to really look and see
We'll
if
see.
they actually are.
We'll see. I don't. You don't have Facebook, so I don't know if I've told you all the events we've got coming up for here.
Yeah, probably not. I'm actually
Okay.
worried about larger games now,
Really?
just because we have to look at how much can actually fit in a 75-point army, but
It's going to be about the same. 75 plus roughly 30 points
Yeah.
battle group, 105.
we've seen a lot of things get
52,
cheaper though,
54. Yeah. Well, we've seen a bunch of battle group stuff get cheaper.
and
decent
some
checks.
units. We've seen some units
Okay,
stay the
fair.
same, but we have seen some units get cheaper. So spam games look like they can just really get a little
I
obnoxious.
was really hoping they wouldn't encourage that.
Yeah, these units, a full unit of 10 for like 13 points, that can just get
Yeah.
a little obnoxious, I think. We'll see, though. We'll see how the large games go, especially with eight pieces
Well,
of terrain.
we have 4-6 units in Mark II, and they aren't usually played because they're crap.
Yeah, they usually suck.
There's a reason. they're cheap.
Or you play them and they have like 9 attachments on them.
Yeah, weapon attachments and UAs and all that
Like,
fun crap.
between the solo, the UA, the weapon attachment.
and
yeah.
the solo, that's
Yeah,
right.
It's like, okay, 15 points later. Yeah, not
Yeah.
as bad as a 4-6 unit that you thought.
All right, so stay tuned. Videos may still remain a bit sparse until Mark III drops. Then I'm sure we'll be running back full force. Have fun, guys. See you next time.
See you.
So how much of our game are we actually going to talk about?
Deployment.
I know, right?
Well, we brought deployment.